There was a lot of controversy in the first fight. Absolutely, a lot of controversy in fight one. And a lot of people, moving into fight two, wrote Aljamin Sterling out. And rightly so. I mean, we all saw the first fight. We all saw that Aljamin, apart from round one, really got dominated for the majority of this particular fight. So coming into round one, Aljamin was absolutely determined to push that narrative away, and it showed. He was much more conservative, much more measured in his approach. However, ultimately, watching this, it was round one, that was going to be the round that came back to haunt both fighters, especially since it was quite a tight fight. And Petr Yan in round one did what Petr Yan does, which is to say, go forward, throwing with aggressive abandon, maybe not to the degree that he has in the past, but he was there. Petr Yan was absolutely there doing what he had to do, because rounds 2 and 3 were absolutely dominant shows by Aljamin Sterling. Not only was he able to take Petr to the ground, but take his back and obtain amazing positions to be able to ride these rounds out from a dominance and control sort of perspective. Albeit Petr was able to show amazing levels of, control to not necessarily get choked out, in which is becoming now a real staple for Aljamin Sterling in terms of rear naked chokes and taking the back of his opponent. So kudos to Petr Yan there. Round 4, I think this personally is where we start to see the gas tank of Aljamin Sterling tested, because really Petr was able to, put more output and effectively out-grapple Aljamin. I actually thought that he took this round off to a degree, because it's here where we saw the desperateness of Aljamin Sterling to obtain the takedown, was getting to levels where he was telegraphing and was quite sloppy in terms of it all. In fact, I think Petr had the right idea, but if he timed a jumping knee, there was something there, because Aljamin, every engagement he was looking to do was in line with getting a takedown. Obviously, it had worked in rounds 2 and 3, so why not? But you can definitely tell that, Petr adapted, staying heavy on the front, and was not about that life. And he was able to, show some level of grappling dominance there. Round 5, I had it for Petr Yan as well. I think he was wearing the exchanges better. At this stage, Aljamin Sterling just wasn't driving the level of output. His takedowns were very labored, and they were all, that was it. There was no, look, he was running out of fumes, really. So imagine the surprise. Imagine the surprise when we see the result going to Aljamin Sterling, and good on him. But there is definitely another fight there. There is definitely another fight there. Maybe not straight away. I think it wouldn't be the worst thing for both parties to have a little bit of a break. But there is definitely something to visit there, because I think the conclusion didn't necessarily match potentially what we saw. The first round probably had the least action of all the rounds. And I think this is where, Aljamin got credit there. But there's definitely something there. And yeah, like they were able to shake it off at the end. But I do think that there's enough animosity, enough of a story there, and stylistically enough there to have another fight, because these guys definitely have something going on, and a trilogy in my mind is definitely on the cards.